do you breed a gentleman?
A gentleman? I dare say there's one and only one sure methodology for breeding a true gentleman. And that method requires discipline. Discipline eventually internalized into self-discipline.
Discipline? And I suppose that means speaking to the prospective gentleman, the child, with a good deal of,
Censure! No need to fear the word censure. Nature, you see, dictates that boys are little rascals. And the only way to unrascal a little rascal is to point out to him at every wrong turn precisely how that turn was wrong.
You mean by yelling at him?
Yelling, my good fellow, is a last resort, and an uncouth one at that. No criticism, you'll say. Criticism spoken in soft tones, but criticism that cuts and bites down deep into the bone and fills the marrow with feelings of shame and self-mortification.
That's still kind of pinchy. Harsh.
Harsh indeed is the royal road to being a true gentleman.
Or a true harshman.
I beg your pardon?
Look, no offense intended, Lord knows, but you'd think that the word gentleman means that the man in question is, well, gentle, by definition. I mean, I really don't see how a truly gentle soul can be cultivated with chastisement.
Happy is the man whom God reproveth. Therefore despise thou not the chastising of the Almighty. It's in the Bible, you know.
There's no question that the Bible endorses the use of harsh, critical language at times, or rather, with certain people, such as confident adults who can handle the criticism. But that's not the case with kids. Take Leviticus 21, for example, where the purity laws for the Kohanim are laid out. God says to Moses, "Speak to the Kohanim, to the sons of Aaron," and he specifically uses the word emor, which indicates a gentler manner of speaking.
As opposed to?
As opposed to daber, which indicates a harsher, more straightforward, critical manner. And this manner is used later on, but here in the first part of this section, where the children of the Kohanim are being instructed, the softer, gentler term emor sets the tone.
But look here, my dear fellow, I've already made it clear that yelling and loud speech is not the ideal decibelage for delivering good criticism.
Right, you said that good criticism cuts very quietly, like a quiet knife.
Like a surgeon's knife to the bone?
But emor indicates a type of speaking that doesn't cut at all, doesn't criticize at all. On the contrary, the primary work of a gentle way of speaking is praise and encouragement.
Praise and encouragement? Good heavens, you really believe you can whip naughty little scamps and hooligans into shape and produce veritable gentlemen by means of praise and encouragement? I mean, that may be well and good for those little sparks of nobility in their souls, but what of all the rough and nasty bits? How are those to be removed without the salubrious strokes of a rough, abrasive scouring brush?
Or a good, firm slap?
Well, now and then, why not? It can be very satisfactory.
Satisfying for the hand that slaps, perhaps, but of limited pedagogical satisfaction for the slappee.
Then all the rough and nasty bits of a child's soul will vanish of their own accord, I suppose.
Actually, yes, that's exactly what happens when praise and encouragement are done properly, consistently, and attentively. Criticism just feeds off of negativity, and so it perpetuates negativity. It makes rascals even more rascally. It doesn't make them better, it just makes them smarter at being rascals. The only way to really neutralize the negativity of a child is to focus his attention on the positive.
But then a child nurtured on praise and encouragement will surely desire to be coddled with constant positivity, even as a grown man. He'll never be a gentleman.
Au contraire, remember that this section from Leviticus goes on to employ the more straight-shooting critical tone of daber when it's a matter of instructing fully grown men. An adult gentleman must certainly be receptive to criticism, but this very receptivity in the man depends on cultivating a confidence in the boy. by means of praise and encouragement.
But you expect mere language, howbeit positive, to precipitate actual change in character?
You expect negative language to precipitate change?
Yes, well, touche.
Language precipitates. It affects reality and effects reality. Words that highlight and underscore the positive elements in the child's personality have the power to summon forth these elements, to solicit what is potentially good and make it actual.
Words with power, yes.
Words embody the power of revelation. Not only do they reveal what's in the mind and heart of the speaker, they possess the power to reveal the innermost joy and positivity locked away in the soul of every human being, and not just the soul of the speaker, but also the soul of the one spoken to and the soul of the one spoken about. Positive speech has the special power to nurture the growth, the blossoming, and ultimately the proliferation and total burgeoning of goodness.
Now 'tis the spring, and weeds are shallow-rooted.
Aye, and all the veins are bathed in liquor of such power as brings about the engendering of the flower.
I do see your point, yes. The truth is, if I'm to be perfectly honest, the truth is that I do wonder at times how my own education might have devolved along the tendrils of a little more positivity.
That's a very brave confession, but let's not fret here. After all, the fact that you're even wondering about this shows something very positive.
Indeed? What is that?
That in truth, deep down, even deeper than being a gentleman, you are indeed a gentle man.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, really. Very encouraging.
Keep calm and carry on.